It's Larry here. I'm back to start a new reading vlog. Sorry that my reading vlogs are going to be a little bit out of order the next couple of weeks. I had a snafu with one of my reading vlogs that I filmed during Bookmas, and I posted a video that was like 2 minutes long, so I quickly uploaded the next reading vlog that I did. So these reading vlogs are going to be a little bit out of order. When I'm filming this reading vlog is in 2020. It's like January 13th. So you may see them like a little bit out of order. Some of these reading vlogs may be from 2019. Some of these reading vlogs may be from 2020. But eventually I will get caught up. So, all right, enough about the explanations because some people don't like when I explain things too much. But I just want to say that this week is about to get a little bit nutty. I will say that. I have auditions tomorrow. I have a whole week of school, have off for Martin Luther King Day, and then I'm going to Midwinter ALA, which I'm so excited about because I've never been before. I'm really excited about that. But I want to dive into what I'm reading. I am listening to Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which is a reread for me. It's part of the Time Warp YA book club. If you want to join that, the link is in the description box. This month we're reading Warrior of the Wild and Illuminae, so I'm really excited about that. I also did wind up making a bit more progress on The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett. I'm on page 278 and I'm 75% done with this book. Boy, am I loving this book. I think I love the pacing. I love the characters. I love the world building. I'm really impressed with it so far. There has been some unexpected twists and turns that I'm really enjoying. The romance is slowly birding towards a romance. The friendship, I love the past. I love the elements of letters. I'm really enjoying it. I think this book has had so many twists and turns that I've just really enjoyed. Honestly, I'm really, really loving this book. So I'm going to keep reading and I will come back and check in with you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Hi, guys, Lori here. It is 8:35 and I just got up to page 300 in this book. I'm really liking it. I think we're finally heading the final conclusion. Some twists were revealed about Theodora's character that I wasn't necessarily expecting, and I'm still curious to see how that turns out. I'm loving Hux and Theodora's relationship. I'm loving how this book has really had like a very, very small cast of characters, but like main characters, but the side characters have really fleshed out this story, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really loving it. I mean, there's nothing I can say that I don't like about this book. I'm just really liking it. Definitely my new fave of the year so far. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna go and dive in, and I would love to finish this tonight, but I'm not gonna rush myself. I think it ends at like 370, so I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll check back in hopefully before I go to bed. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Right here, I'm back. I just want to say that I was able to finish The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett. I love this book. Adored it. Definitely my first 5-star read of 2020. Oh my god, this book was so much fun. I love the adventure. I love the characters. I love the pacing. I love the historical fiction setting. This book was set in 1938, which I don't think I've ever read a book set in that setting. I loved it. I loved the ending. I thought that this was such a solid standalone, but I adore these characters so much. I really hope that we get a book 2 and 3 because they hinted, like they teased the end, maybe there will be another adventure in their future. I love these characters so much. Like, I love Hux. I love Theodora. Theodora is such a different type of heroine, and I just really, really loved it. So I'm going to go choose my next read. I'm probably not going to start it tonight because it's almost 10 o'clock. But oh my goodness, it was so good. Definitely my favorite read of 2020 so far. I love this book. I am heading to LA Midwinter and I'm going to ask if we are maybe getting a sequel. I love Jen Bennett's writing and I'm really impressed. I liked her contemporaries. This book was really outstanding. I loved it. If you're looking for historical fiction adventure story and you loved Hunting Prince Dracula, but this book just was beyond. I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go choose my next read and let you guys know what it is, and I'll be back in a little bit. It's Larry here. I am back. It's almost 10 o'clock. I did wind up choosing my next read. I am also bringing tomorrow for when I go to work, I'm also bringing Beetle of the Bard. I still have to read 2 stories, but trying to be a little bit better about reading my BEA and book humbucks, I did decide to pick up Shadow Frost by Coco Ma. I got this last year at BEA, and I'm trying to like read a lot of my backlists, especially because I'm going to Midwinter in about a week. I don't know what this book is about. I know it's about a princess, and there's an evil darkness that winds up taking over their kingdom, and she's the only one with the power to defeat it. And I think that she kind of goes on a little bit of a quest to get it. I met her. She was lovely, and I really hope that I like it. This book came out in October. This is from, I feel like it's Blackstone. Yeah, Blackstone Publishing. This cover is so pretty. I'm really excited to dive into it. So I'm probably going to start this tomorrow. I may read like a chapter or two tonight and just like get a feel for it. But yeah, that's my thoughts, and I will let you guys know tomorrow. Tomorrow is a day of audition, so I don't know when I'm going to be home, but I definitely will update you guys, let you guys know my thoughts. I won't say anything about casting on here, because I know some kids do watch my videos, but I'm really excited to cast the show and work on it for 2020, and you guys are going to come along on this journey with me, which I did last year. I just hope my content is a little bit more consistent than it was last year, but I will see you guys tomorrow for another update. Bye. Hey, it's Lori here. It is 7:46. I just got home. I had my auditions for Schoolhouse Rock Live Junior. I will let you guys know Friday how it turned out. I'm still wheedling through my casting choices, which is really hard. I had at least 30 kids try out over the course of like 3 days, so it's a lot on my little head right now. So I'm trying to take a break and relax a little bit. Tomorrow I have to do callbacks, and Thursday I have to do callbacks and just gather everyone who wasn't here today, which always happens if you work in school. But I did wind up starting Shadow Frost. I only got like 26 pages in. I barely started it last night. I had a really, really bad headache last night after I finished Lady Rogue, and it kind of propelled me into like not sleeping at all last night. So the whole day I was like a little bit out of it. Now, surprisingly, I'm awake and not tired. So I'm going to try to read a little bit more of this and make a little more progress. I just know that I'm following this princess named Ashrina. She has a very, very overprotective mother, and the society has a bunch of different types of magic, and like you can be a strength in many of them as possible, but like it's very, very rare to be over three. And yeah, I know that there is like a darkness that's taking over their kingdom. But yeah, so far I'm really liking it. I think it's definitely a longer book than I've read recently, but I'm willing to give it a go. So I'm going to dive back into my book, and I'm going to give you guys some updates tonight as we go along, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm just checking back in. It is 8:56, and I did wind up getting up to page 52 in Shadowfrost. I will admit, I am liking it. It's definitely a slower paced read, and I think there's a lot of information. I know that this is going to be book one in a trilogy, but I really do like the characters. I like how we're getting a lot of side characters, and I'm really liking that. There's a lot of political intrigue, and it's just really, really fascinating. It's definitely a book that I really need to focus on. So I'm going to put it down for the rest of the evening, and I'm going to go watch some TV. I will definitely check in tomorrow when I head home. Hopefully, I will have figured out some things with my show. That's the hope anyway, and I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. Long after this goes live, my students will know who they are, but just in my head of a director, I'm kind of trying to figure out, it's like it's like you're playing Tetris with your casting list, because you have to make sure everything fits perfectly, and sometimes things work out great, and sometimes things don't always work out, but I'm hopeful that they will this time, and I will keep you guys updated. Bye. Sorry here, I'm back. Sorry if I look a little bit tired. Honestly, I am a little bit tired. Today has been just was like a rather long day. I had a bunch of audition stuff for my show that really like kept me busy all day. I'm also going on a mini trip next week, so I'm trying to prep myself as best I can for both my show and my actual work life, but it will all work out. But I did want to say that I did make a lot of listening progress on Illuminate by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, or Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I think that's the right order. I forgot how gut-wrenching that book is. It's a really hard listen at some points, and it's sort of a hard thing to read a book like that when you know a vast majority of the characters that you are reading about will not survive the book. That's not like a spoiler, but like there is a lot of death and carnage in that book, and I forgot how aggressive it was. Like in the book, it's just a very, very aggressive book. In the later books, it's kind of still aggressive, but not as like in your face aggressive as the first book was. But I'm really enjoying it. I also did make a little bit more progress on Shadow Frost by Coco Ma. I will admit, after 50 pages, this book kicked up a little bit. It was very, very slow paced, but again, it's the start of a trilogy, which you always have to give a book. But I really do like the characters. I love the quest element that's been introduced. I love the group of characters that is going on this quest. I really, really love the world building. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna actually read tonight. It's almost 8 o'clock. And I started watching a show on Netflix, and I think I'm gonna do that. Um, I might read a little bit when I watch a couple episodes of that, but we will see. If not, I'll definitely update you guys tomorrow. I will definitely be reading on the train. I have a small headache. I don't know what it is. I've been getting a lot of headaches recently because my sleep schedule has been all messed off. I blame the fact that I had like 2 weeks off and I sleep so good during that week that I'm off, and in the weekend I sleep really, really good, and then during the week it's like I don't get my full rest because I'm afraid I'm gonna like not wake up for work, which is stupid because I live with my mom and she takes me to the train station. So we'll get there, but I think I'm just like so afraid to be late. Like my body doesn't really let me like sleep deeply, and I think that's why I'm a little bit crazed. But I'm gonna kind of decompress for a little bit, watch some episodes of um I don't know the name of this show. I know it's on Netflix. It has the dog. Um The Life According to Dude or something. But it's so cute. So I'm gonna go watch that, and maybe right before bed I'll maybe try to read a little bit more. I did get up to page 87, so that was more progress than I thought I would make. But I am off to relax, and I'll check in with you guys before I go to bed if I decide to read it all. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. Sorry, my voice. I'm not sick anymore, but whenever I start a unit in school, I always have to talk through a lot of PowerPoints to get to the part when we go on stage. The kids think it's really, really boring, and I don't really like it, but they're not as always as focused as I want them to be, so PowerPoints sometimes work a little bit better. But I am happy to report that I feel so much better. I got like a ridiculous amount of sleep last night. I got like 7 hours, which I never get on a school night. I fell asleep at like 8, like 9 o'clock, which I normally go to. I went to bed like 2 hours early, so I feel very, very rested, which is so nice. I made a bunch of listening progress on Illuminae. I That book is so hard to listen to sometime and read because it's basically a bloodbath. Like you go in knowing that most of these characters are going to die. It's a really hard listen, but I love the cast recording like so much. So about 2 hours left of that. I should definitely finish that tomorrow or Saturday. And I made a bit more progress on Shadow Frost by Coco Ma. I'm now on page 158. I am going to go watch Crisis because I missed 2 episodes. And then I'm going to see what time it is, and I may watch some YouTube videos. We will see. But I'm going to be reading Shadow Frost as that progresses, so I will let you guys know my thoughts. So far, I'm liking Shadow Frost. I think it has some pacing issues. I think the book is very, very long. Like, it's, my arc is like a little bit over 400 pages. I think it could have been condensed a little bit, just the pacing, and I think the characters need to be clearly like identified a little bit more. Like we're basically following 6 characters, and they all just seem a little bit too similar to me. So I would need them to be differentiated a little bit more. But I really do like the world. I do like the characters. I just wish that they were a little bit clearer who was who. So back to reading I go. I'll update you guys in a little bit. Bye. Right here, I'm checking back in. I did want to finishing the second episode of Crisis that I haven't seen, and I did make a little bit more reading progress on Shadow Frost. I'm now on page 182. I will definitely be up past 200 by the time I get home tomorrow, which is the plan. I really am liking this book, but I'm trying to be better about going to bed early and not staying up as late, so I'm actually going to go rest for the evening, watch some TV, and maybe read before I go to bed. I don't know. But I'll definitely check in with you guys on tomorrow, which is Friday, because I'm going to have a 3-day weekend. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I just got back from work. It is Friday, January 17th. I want to do 2 quick updates. One is that I did finish my audiobook. I did finish Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. That was one of the books for the Time Warp YA Book Club. Oh my god, I love listening to those books. I've said before in this video, those books are a little bit hard to listen to sometimes because they're very like emotional, and it's hard to become invested in characters. That series is basically a bloodbath. So like It's really hard to become invested in anybody because you never know what's going to happen. I really did forget elements of that book because it's been so long since I read it, but I really enjoyed it. Definitely a 5-star read, one of my rereads, first rereads of 2020. I also made a little bit more progress on Shadowfrost. I'm now on page 228. I really am liking this book. I think the pacing is just a little bit slower, and it just takes a while to like propel the plot forward. I think that there's a lot of characters in the story, and I wish that she would have differentiated them a little bit more because I sometimes forget like what character I am talking about. But overall, I'm really liking it. I'm going to definitely get some more reading done tonight. But my Owl Crate has come in the mail, so I want to unbox it and let you guys know my thoughts. I'm 90% sure that I know the of this box. I'm 90% sure I know it, but I could be wrong. But this is Owl Crate Vengeance Will Be Mine. This box also does have the Carla mug. And I think this is for Goblet of Fire. I'd have to look at it and double check, but yeah, oh, this is actually Order of the Phoenix, I think. This is an Order of the Phoenix bug. I think it's Order of the Phoenix. Oh my goodness. These mugs are so pretty. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at the dragons. Look at Grimmauld Place. Look at the veil. Oh my god. I'm definitely in February, I'll definitely post a picture of that because that is a gorgeous mug. The next thing, ooh, socks. The next thing I'm seeing is Out of Crooked Saint socks. I love a good sock because I love them, like a good decorative sock. This is awesome. These colors are so pretty, perfect time for the winter months. It gets very, very cold in Long Island. We're dealing with a cold spell right now. Ooh, the next thing I'm seeing is Court of Candles Seer. I'll have to look that up, but this is ooh, it's beautiful. It has like silver and it smells like dragon fruit, tropical rainforest, and it's an Owl Crate exclusive. It's glittery too. Ooh, I really, really like that smell, Seer. Ooh, I can actually use that in like a couple of photos that I have coming up, which is so exciting. The next thing I'm seeing is their pin, which is Name Bone to Bone, Blood to Blood. That's the thing, which is very, very pretty. Ooh, the next thing I'm seeing, ooh, is like a tapestry. Ooh, I think that this is for Lord of the Rings, I think. I'll have to fix that later because it kind of came off. But I think that this is definitely a Lord of the Rings element. I will try to find someone that likes Lord of the Rings more than me. I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan. I do like it, but I don't love it. So I will try to adventure and see if someone at work likes Lord of the Rings a little bit more than I do. Ooh, I love these Owl Crate bags. They are so cute. I have a feeling I know what this is. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Ooh. You've got words in your soul. Oh, and it's like a little like holder for things. That would be great to put in my work bag because I always need to have like Advil and stuff, and it's actually the perfect thing. So I can put all my pills in here and just have them. So that's actually great. I'll actually put that in my bag next week for work, which is perfect. I'm also going to a convention next week, and it would be nice to have. Ooh, I was right. It was Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sin. That was the book that I totally thought it was going to be. I'm so happy that I was right. This cover is definitely a departure from the one in the store. Like, a big departure because it's so different. But I love this cover so much, and I'm really excited to dive into it. This is the actual cover of the book, so you could see. Very, 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 very big departure. The next thing I'm seeing is their guide, where they talk with the author. They do this. They do interview with a reader. They have books that are coming out this month, which I love. And it's time that they talk about author babble, which is awesome. And the power within. Every February box will include a deck of playing cards inspired by Throne of Glass. That's really exciting. I always love Owl Crate. It's probably one of the only book boxes I will get regularly every single month, no matter if I have the book or not. I know that I do have an arc of the book from the next box, but I'm just not going to read my arc, and I want to get the box because I love to support small businesses when I can. Or businesses in general. But I am so excited. I love this box. I have to do a little bit of work tonight. It's like a holiday weekend. I wanted to tell you guys what fandoms the stuff was from. Obviously Corazon did the mug for Owl Crate, which is from, I think it's from Order of the Phoenix. Out of print, the socks were from Crooked Kingdom. The pocket mirror was inspired by Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. Ignite your inner magic with this candle inspired by Children of Blood and Bone. And then a pin banner from The Hobbit. And then the summary of Scavenge the Stars is on here as well. Yeah, so I'm really excited for this book. I definitely want to read it soon. But yeah, that is my mini update for today. It is 5:42, so I'm actually going to go do a little bit of work, and then when I come back, hopefully, I'll be ready to dive back into Shadow Frost. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. It's 7:08. I was able to complete most of my grading, which is really exciting. And I'm going to dive into the Shadow Frost by Coco Ma. I'm now about 228 pages into it. And that is about 57% done, which I think is pretty impressive. I really am liking it. I really do like the world. I like the characters. I wish they were clearer who was who. I think her writing style sometimes confuses me a little bit, and I think the pacing is a little bit slower, but I'm liking all the elements that are thrown into the story, and I'm just enjoying it. So I'm going to go back and read, and I will update you guys when I'm on page 250. I think that's a good starting point. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. It's about to be 8:30, and I did make a bit more progress on Shadow Frost. I have to admit, I am really liking this book. My arc is a lot longer than what it says on Goodreads because I think my book has a lot bigger print. So I have about 150 pages left, I think, in this. But I'm really liking it. I'm really enjoying it. It's a very compelling read. It's very, very fast paced. I wish the story was a little bit shorter because I think it took a lot of time to get to this point. I do really like the characters. I think it's very interesting. There is some paranormal elements that I'm really enjoying. The cast of characters I'm really liking. I'm starting to like them a little bit more. Some elements I think are being shown but not really explained. So I'm really curious to see how they're all going to be explained. But overall, I'm really liking it. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. It is January 18th, which means it's a Saturday. I just got back from yoga. Last night, I wound up finishing Shadow Frost by Coco Ma. I did wind up liking this book. I didn't wind up loving it. I think a lot happened in this book. I think the pacing was a little bit confusing. I didn't feel as connected to the characters, to be very, very honest. I definitely am going to have to reread this book at some point, so I'm probably going to either get an ebook or get an audiobook of it. But I liked it. I thought the ending had a really unexpected topic come up that I wasn't expecting. But I did like the world. I did like the characters. I just wish I felt a little bit more connected to them. So, I am going to pick up The Guinevere's Deception by Kiersten White. This is the Owl Crate book for December because I'm trying to be good about reading them in a timely fashion. I know that this book follows Guinevere, and she is a shapeshifter, and there is a magic threat that is going to attack Camelot. So she goes in to kind of neutralize it, but she goes in as Arthur's wife. I'm really excited. I love King Arthur's retelling, so I really hope I like this. This jacket is so pretty. This was the thing. And I did wind up finishing Illuminae yesterday. So I wound up picking up really an unexpected audiobook. I was just kind of going through Libby and finding one that I didn't have to wait for. So I'm picking up The Song of the Crimson Flower by Julie C. Dow. This is the third book in I think her companion series, but I haven't read the other ones. I have Forest of Frozen Lantern, A Thousand Lanterns on my shelf because I got it a couple of years ago at New York City Comic Con because she signed it for me. This I think is like an adventure story. I'm only like 3 chapters in, and I didn't really read the summary all that much, but I am really liking it. So I'm gonna do some work. I have to do some Instagram stuff and some blog stuff because I'm going away this weekend. So I want to have my posts all prepped for like 2 weeks. It's gonna take me a little time, but I am gonna keep listening to my audiobook. And then I'm just gonna read today. It is supposed to snow and rain today. We haven't got the snow yet, thank God, but it might snow and rain, so it's really going to be like a really, really not like the best weather day. It's very, very cold. It's very, very, very bitter outside. I did go to yoga already, so I think I'm going to do all my working stuff, and then I'm going to kind of read and see how much progress I can make on the Guinevere Deception. I am going to the city tomorrow to go see the Book of Mormon with my friend Sarah. We might hit a bookstore because whenever we're together, we always go book shopping, so I might do that. But if not, I'm definitely going to spend today reading because I'm not going to have a lot of time devoted to it tomorrow. So, talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. I did wind up doing most of my errands. I did all my blog errands because I'm going to midwinter. I wanted to prep as much post as I could. But I'm happy to report that it is just hit 12 o'clock and I'm going to dive into the Guinevere's Deception. I am about a page into it. I started reading it at yoga this morning, but I'm going to go back and restart it just because I was only a page in and I want to like reread that page. But I love Kirsten White's writing normally, so I'm really hopeful that this one will just be a quick paced read. I love Arthurian legend. I've always have. This is also the first book in a trilogy. My cover is the Owl's Crate exclusive edition. So I'm gonna go reading, and when I make about probably about 50 pages in, I will definitely update you guys. Talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. It's just past 2 o'clock, and I did make a little bit of reading progress. I'm now on page 50 of the Guinevere's Deception. This book definitely has a totally different premise than I had anticipated, which I'm really, really liking. I'm in the first 50 pages. This book has really intrigued me. Like, I like the dynamics between Arthur and Guinevere. I like the dynamics of her in reference to like the land that she's in. I think her past is super interesting. I just love her and Arthur together. I love the setting of Camelot. I'm just really, really liking it. It's a book that I really have to read very, very closely because it's a lot of information. You also get a lot of like tiebacks to like Lady of the Lake and stuff like that. But the dynamics between Arthur and Guinevere is not what I was expecting the story to be, so that's been like a nice surprise. I also am reading Song of a Crimson Flower by Julie Seedow. I'm listening to the audiobook. So I'm going to go listen to a little bit more of that while I work out. And when I come back, I'm going to dive back into this. But I'll check back in and let you guys know what I'm thinking about Song of the Crimson Flower. So far, I'm actually really liking it. So I'm going to go do a quick workout and listen to that. And when I come back, we'll get back to the Guinevere's Deception. Hey, Larry here. I'm back. Sorry for the light. I will keep my head in front of it. I just want to tell you that I did finish working out. I listened to about 20 more minutes of Song of a Crimson Flower. I'm really liking that book. It's finally going to get to the point of like the conflict, which I'm really, really liking. I definitely have to go back and read more of her writing because I'm really liking this quest adventure story. But yeah, so I'm going to go continue reading The Guinevere Deception and see my thoughts about it. I'll let you guys know when I get to page 100, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I just want to do a quick update. I did wind up making a bit more progress on the Guinevere's Deception, and now I'm on page 100, which is about 25% done with this book. I'm really liking this book. This book, I love Arthurian legend. I was a big fan of Merlin back in the day. I love Guinevere as a character. I really like this book because you get like elements of other characters like Morgana, Mordred. You hear about them, and then Kirsten White kind of takes her own twist. I'm super curious about Guinevere's character. I know something from like spoilers, like on like how the book was pitched, but I'm trying to think if I'm remembering it correctly, or if it's a different King Arthur retelling that I'm thinking of. But I'm loving her character. I'm loving the dynamics she has with the cast of characters that she meets, but especially Arthur and especially her maid. I'm just really liking how this book is set up because Kirsten White could have gone in such a different direction, which is honestly what I was expecting. And it's not like that. It's like a very unique story. I'm loving her take on Arthurian legend. I think it's so interesting. This is also going to be a trilogy. I think I mentioned that before. But I'm really enjoying it. Like, I love how Merlin is a character in the story, but you don't actually see him. I love how Uther is constantly mentioned as someone that used to watch Merlin. I always think of Anthony Stewart Head, who's Giles in my head. He's a great actor. That role was a villain, but I really, really like that show. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I am gonna make some more reading progress. I also really do want to figure out my February TBR because I am going to ALA Midwinter and I would like to at least have that set. So I'm really also loving, sorry, switching of topics, but I want to figure out my February TBR, which I'm going to make all romance or contemporary theme books, which I haven't done in the past, but there are actually quite a few that I got for the holidays that I'm going to just stick on a TBR and see how many I can read. And I want to do a small update. I did wind up making a little bit more progress, or Song of a Crimson Flower by Julie C. Dow. I left off at like a really like critical part, so I might read for like another like 20 minutes and then I might like open up my audiobook and do a little bit more cleaning and organizing for my TBR for February. But yeah, so that's my thoughts right now. I'm going to go back to reading and I'll check in with you guys when I get up to page like 150. Bye guys. Hi guys, just checking back in. I want to say that I did make a little bit more listening progress on to Song of a Crimson Flower. I'm really liking the character dynamics in that story. I'm like that it's about to have a quest themed element, which really isn't spoiling so much because it says it on the front flap and it's pitched as like a quest novel, but I'm really liking the characters a lot in that book. And I did make a little bit more progress on the Guinevere Deception. I am really curious to see who becomes the villain in the story, like the underling of the villain. I'm really liking it. I'm loving the character dynamics. I'm really enjoying the setting of this story a lot. So I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll check in you guys when I get up to page about like 150. Bye. Hey, Lori here. I'm back. It's 7:41 on January 18th, sorry. I want to do a quick update. I did make a little bit more reading progress on the Guinevere Deception. I'm now on page 162. Guys, I really like this book. I love the pacing. I've read a couple of books in early 2020 that the pacing has not captured me. This book has really captured me. Maybe it's because I'm reading like a retelling that I already kind of know the world. I really like the characters. I'm really intrigued. I'm really curious to know who. There's like a lot of potential villains in this story, and if you have read King Arthur's Myth, a lot of people can be villains. So it's very interesting to see where Kiersten White takes this. But I like the main character. I think the world is fascinating. I just want to keep reading. I'm definitely going to wind up finishing this reading vlog tonight, and I'm probably going to start a new one tomorrow before I head into the city. And I'll probably do one vlog before I go to Midwinter. But yeah, I will definitely update you guys I'll update you guys in a little bit when I get up to page 200. But really liking this book. I really am liking the twist that Kiersten White did, and it's a very, very, I wouldn't say I'm reading it quickly, but I don't want to put it down. It's a book that I really have to think about, but that's actually a good thing. So talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hey, Lori here. I'm just checking back in. It is 9:21, and I did make a bit more progress on the Guinevere Deception. I'm now on page 202. I'm definitely not going to finish this read tonight, and I'm going to do what I keep saying I'm going to do. I'm going to stop rushing my reading. Definitely did that with Shadowfrost, but I'm going to stop, and I'm just going to slow down. I really love this character. I think she's so unique. I love the world. There was a couple of like twists that happened in this story that like I didn't necessarily expect. But I'm really enjoying it. I love King Arthur stories. I love that this is like a different take on it. I'm really curious to see where this story is going to end. Like what what the end point of this book to be, because I know that it's going to be a trilogy. But I'm really, really liking it. I'm loving I've loved the dynamics between Arthur and Guinevere throughout this whole book, and I've also loved the characters that we've seen that relate to Guinevere throughout this whole book because I think it's so interesting. So I'm gonna try to get up to page 250 tonight. That's my goal. And then I'll probably like call it a night and end this reading vlog. And I'll probably start another reading vlog tomorrow before I go into the city. So I'm gonna go read at least 50 more pages and then I will probably come back in here to wrap up this reading vlog. Talk to you guys in a bit. Guys, it's 10:12. I have 10 more pages left, but I just wanted to come in and say one of the names in Arthurian legend that I have been waiting for has appeared. And I love this book. I am really curious again to see who the villain is. Like, I'm not going to spoil it, but there has been a bunch of different villains, like, teased throughout this book. So we were really curious to see if it goes one way or if it goes the other way. But I'm really liking it. All right, I'm going to go read 10 more pages and then I'm going to come in and wrap up this reading vlog and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi guys, Lori here. I'm back. I'm here to wrap up this reading vlog. I will say that I really am enjoying the Guinevere Deception like a lot. I think this is like such a unique world. I left off at like a really critical point. I'm left off at page 250, so I have about 100 pages left of it. I cannot wait to keep reading tomorrow. But in this reading vlog, I did finish reading The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett that I really enjoyed. My first 5-star read of the year was so much fun. I also finished reading Shadowfrost, which I finished reading yesterday. I like that book, but I didn't love that book. I thought that the pacing was a little bit wonky and I didn't feel as connected to the characters. I also finished reading Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I started listening to I listened to that as an audiobook. Then I started Guinevere's Deception, and today I read about 250 pages of it. And I'm going to finish this tomorrow, and I'm going to start and the audiobook that I'm currently listening to is Song of a Crimson Flower. So yeah, for this week, which was actually a little bit wonky because I had tryouts, auditions, and all that other fun stuff, I wound up physically finishing 3 books and listening to 1 audiobook, and then I started another book, and then I started another audiobook. So I think that's pretty good. I'm definitely going to start another reading vlog tomorrow for you guys, which will probably be up until I go to ALA. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.